Well, golly, it took me a bit to find it, but here's the copper to copper oxide dress that Blake Lively wore at the Met Gala a few years ago. And it's an homage to the Statue of Liberty in the New York Harbor. And it's also a remembrance that it was the gift of the French. Anyways, some may know that Blake lives here sometimes in Vancouver. And if there were a place to do an exhibit of this dress, maybe the painted porch would be a nice place to put it. Anyways, gosh, um, more on that in a bit. It's actually just around the corner from the kind of a part of the convention center. But I'm gonna see if I can switch pictures again. So give me a sec. Now this is Vancouver at dawn with a cruise ship coming in to Canada Place and the cranes on the waterfront almost lifting the sun or waving a hey to the new day. And the birds startlingly centered and the light on the water. Oh, gosh. So I mentioned liberty uh, because it's one of the fundamental freedoms and freedom of speech, freedom of motion, and well, Blake Lively is a gorgeous um, presentation of the concept. The Statue of Liberty in New York came from Paris, and France's democratic revolution was seeded or inspired by the American Revolution. Uh, but they're not the only ones. And liberty, equality, and fraternity are concepts worth noticing, appreciating, and exercising. And freedom of speech, the exchange of ideas, being plural together are what we should be learning to do and exercising. And there's ways of fostering and fertilizing growth. And liberty, freedom of speech is actually an inspiration for me speaking up right here and now. That there's a lot in need of talking about and making a space for that, partly here on the web and partly here in the world. Wow. Uh, so it's daytime now. I was speaking earlier in the evening, and I spend time in the daytime. I'm in a wheelchair, and at night I'm in bed, and I have a rather limited range of motion. But with this tool, I've got a pretty vast scope of communicative ability. Being disabled, there's a lot that I do without. And a lot of the things that I can access have the equivalent of curb ramps, as in a way that I can get around bumps. And it's a life in which I do without a lot, but also actually have a lot. And the scope of my abilities in the modern world would be amazing to outline and explain to people from centuries earlier. And I'm very appreciative of that. I've just recently felt a particular invitation to speak up. Um, I caught a Netflix comedy bit recently, soup to nuts, um, by gosh, so there's a special comedy bit on Netflix called Soup to Nuts by Mark Norman. And comics take an interest in words, where they come from, what they mean, and how they change. And one of the things he's talking about is special. Uh, People vary, some to an extensive degree, and where does the line of special get crossed? And another word he's considering is inclusion, and how do how far and how varied can be the desire for inclusion. And he takes it to a bit of a funny, maybe extreme example. And all the variations of people out there, um, the punchline of the bit is we have a gay senior citizen dwarf in a wheelchair section. And that's a remarkably fine bit of specificity. The thing is that it fits me. Um, and I'm thinking to maybe construe it as an invitation to join a conversation. Maybe tell a story from an unusual point of view. And while some of it is funny, other parts are contemplative, aesthetic, or regular. Anyways, this is kind of a opening up a mode of storytelling. And there's going to be a lot to chat about, but one word at a time, a sentence, paragraph, building a story. And hopefully you'll find the journey worth having. More to follow, and I've got to get these bits up. Okay, thank you. Be well.